Well, this is still fun. Greetings, CyberDog, citizen of Internet. This Krunkk dog coming at you, episode 8, Sevtech Survive. Hello everybody, it's ReNDoG and also Krunkk dog. We got a bit of a duality going on over here, okay? Welcome back everybody to episode 8. Oh my goodness, here we are. Very close to Krunkk Island. I'm doing a bit of exploring over here as the sun rises across our beautiful land. And thanks to Krunkk for doing the intro to today's episode. It was absolutely terrible. Cringe-tastic. Good job, Krunkk. Anyway, guys, welcome. We are starting off today's episode with a little bit of exploration. I'm actually trying to find old Yogi Bear, the companion that we discovered at the start of the series, who has now gone completely AWOL. I have no idea where the bear is. I have got a horrible feeling that one of those piranhas might have eaten him when we were chilling on the island with the chunks loaded. I don't know if piranhas attack animals, but if they do, our beautiful Yogi Bear has definitely bitten the dust. But I thought maybe we'd come and check out this little peninsula over here. Ooh, hello. Look at this. There are actually some really pretty flowers in Sevtech that I've not noticed completely. I've seen them every now and then when I've been wandering around. But guys, maybe the reason old Krunky doesn't have himself a Krunkk lady inside of his cave right now is maybe because that cave is basically like a horrible bachelor pad right now. There's rocks everywhere. It's not exactly the most lady-friendly cave that has ever been created on the face of the earth. So maybe what we should do is collect some of these gorgeous flowers. Maybe we can spruce up our island a little bit, right? Maybe that'll get some cave lady out there interested. I mean, we got a magpie, this bad boy, right? Ooh, that's a pretty one over there. We don't want to go too overboard, though, right? Krunkk is, after all, supposed to be a manly caveman, so we don't want to take this beautification of Krunkk Island too far. But these look pretty cool. What is this, actually? That looks a little bit different. Let's have a look. Oh, barley seeds? Oh, dudes. We might be able to plant barley seeds in our beautiful farmland. We can't plant it on normal soil, so maybe this will be plantable on farmland, on tilled soil. Of course, last episode we set up our very first little farm, which is going absolutely fantastically, man. Oh man, I'm so happy with this, guys. We have got a ridiculous amount of awesome food in our belly right now. Take a look at our nutrition levels. We are 100% on protein, 81 on fruit, and 57 on grain, 59 on vegetables. And apparently, if we can get all of these up to, I think it's 75% and up, we will actually receive a buff. I don't know what the buff is. It might be speed, it might be strength, it might be something like that. So maybe what we should do is put down our proteins for now and go vegetarian mode for for an episode or two, right? See if we can get our nutrition up to full and get that maximization going. That could be pretty sweet. But dudes, I've got a really sweet idea for today's episode. I was going to try and get through a little bit of this tech tree over here. We need to start making leather at some point because at the moment we are not able to sleep the night away. And, well, we should probably start aiming to create a sleeping mat over here. That's going to basically be the next big milestone in our Sevtech Survival series. Being able to sleep the night away in Sevtech is actually a pretty major achievement. Because it's really hard to get a sleeping mat or a bed, should we say, in Sevtech in the early game. But I don't know if we're going to do that today. I've got another really cool idea that I'd like to try with you guys. Ooh, that looks absolutely magnificent. Oh, Krunkk a smash, a Krunkk a smash. Krunk's getting super excited. That looks beautiful. I love it, man. But check it out. I was thinking about these fishing mechanisms that we've got out here, right? These things are catching fish for us passively. Currently completely out of bait right now. But look at all this stuff that we are collecting from these strainers. I was wondering if there would be a way for us to automate this process. And in the last couple of episodes, we've been making something called a hopper, right? Or it's a wooden hopper anyway. Hold on. I think W. These things, these wooden hoppers. And these are kind of interesting, I think. I think maybe we could use these to do a very primitive automation of our fishing farms out here. So today we're going to basically do our very first bit of literal modded Minecraft goodness, and that should be quite fun. I haven't really tested it or figured out whether or not it's possible, but we're going to see today, man. Oh, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Although that's the pink one. Maybe we should put the pink one in the Krunkk cave. You know, we need to lure the ladies into the cave to begin with. Although these two are the same color over here, right? So maybe we want to mix that up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Krunkk knows how to interior decorate, okay? He's not messing around over here. Maybe we'll put another flower a little bit further back there. Just add a little bit of color to the front of the cave entrance. Oh, that is glorious. And maybe we could add a flower or two inside the cave. Maybe we can add a flower over there. Oh, that is beautiful right there. And maybe we can put the torch. No, the torch doesn't go very well over there. Hang on. Maybe we'll need to add the torch over here then. Here we go. That flower looks pretty sweet. Maybe we can add another one back here somewhere. No, that's not any good places over there. I guess like we could plonk a flower. You know what? One flower over there is fine. Maybe we can add this flower somewhere else. Maybe back here somewhere. Just plonk it over there. That's fine. This is how it's going to work, okay? Krunk's going to lure his cave lady. She's going to arrive on a raft, okay? She's going to see this cave, and she's going to be like, oh, really nice cave. And then she's going to go into the cave. Krunk's going to be chilling over here, okay? So Krunk's chilling here. She doesn't know that he's here. The cave lady's going to walk into the cave like so and go, oh, really beautiful. What nice. Oh, look at this really nice flower. And then Krunkk is going to come out of nowhere with some sort of a rock in his hand. And as you know, Krunkk is gonna smash. And then they will live happily ever after and make a bunch of Krunkk babies. That's the fantasy that Krunkk is living right now, guys. Let's face it, it's probably never going to happen. And the only companion that Krunkk is going to have around here is a bear that has potentially been eaten by a piranha. So, GG Krunkk, I'm sorry for you, my brother. Hopefully one day we'll be able to find you a companion. Oh, I dropped these seeds. By the way, I figured out what these seeds are, guys. We had these seeds in the last episode. We didn't know what they were. They are actually seeds for hemp, but because we haven't unlocked the hemp tech tree yet, we're unable to plant them. However, I am wondering, can we plant these barley seeds over here on tilled land? Oh, we can. That's amazing. So, we have found another croppage here to grow in Krunkk Farms, which is excellent. And as you guys can see, we are definitely cooking with gas out here. Now, the one thing that we're going to have to work out is how to create bread. Because at the moment, I think we can eat wheat, but wheat isn't exactly the tastiest of foods, right? And I don't actually think, can we eat it? No, we can't even eat the wheat. So in order for us to get grain, I think we're going to have to figure out how to make bread. We are going to be able to eat carrots, of course. That's going to give us vegetables, although we should probably be eating potatoes for the grainage. And of course, we're going to be eating the wild berries for fruit, which is great. I thought I saw Yogi over there. I saw an apparition. In the distance. But yeah, we've got a bunch of cooked potatoes over here, right? So you know what? I'm going to swap out our proteins for now in the inventory so that I don't eat any more protein. We're going to be eating vegetables, we're going to be eating fruit, and we are going to be eating bread if we can make it. Let's have a look. Is it easy to make bread? What do we need to do here? So to make bread, we've got to cook ground wheat, or that's to make hibachi. I don't know what that is. Or in a stone grill, we can actually just cook dough to make bread. We've got the stone grill over there. So how do we make dough? We've got to mix flour with water and salt. And we don't have iron, so I don't know how we're going to make that. We don't have glass either. I guess we're going to have to make this, which is a fluid bladder. And I don't know how to make a fluid bladder. Man, we're going to have to figure that out. Anyway, let's see. How do we make, hold on. How do we make this dough? So we need a fluid bladder, we need salt, and we need flour. And to make flour, I'm guessing we need to grind wheat in the grindstone. Okay, so step one to make bread is kind of easy, right? We're just going to have to grind that wheat into flour, except the fluid bladder part is kind of interesting. How do we even make a fluid bladder? Let's have a look at this. Oh, so we need ink sackages, brown dye powder, and some plant twine. That actually seems kind of easy to make. How do we make this jazz? What do we need? Black dye powder and yellow dye and red. I'm sure we've got red and yellow from the flowers, from dandelions and poppies. How do we get this, though? We got to grind ink. Oh, That's magnificent. Okay, so all we need to do is find ourselves a couple of squids. There's actually been quite a few squids around Krunkk Island, and now when we need them, of course, there are none. So that's just how Minecraft goes, right? Shall we get on our little raft over here? I've made another raft just to make it easier to travel around. Oh, there's a squid. Okay, so why don't we try take out like a couple squids? We'll turn some of them into black dye powder. He just literally pooped all over us. He did give us 2 squid juice though, so that's good. But maybe we should just get a couple more, right? There we go. That's another squid down. And wow, that squid juice is absolutely disgusting. How much ink sackage did we get out of that? We got 2 more there. Okay, so 4 should be enough to make 1 fluid bladder. And if we look at our tech tree, that actually unlocks our path to making leather. So this is actually perfect, my dudes. I'm kind of happy that we're doing this. This is going to take us one step closer to maybe getting out of the tutorial eventually. And, well, I've been a little bit distracted over here. I did really want to make that automatic fishing, but I think we will do that at the end of the episode. Let's see if we can get this done first. So, first things first, let's grind down some ink sackages. For some reason, grinding down a sack of ink makes this, a black dye powder. And I guess we got to find some red and white. Red and yellow, excuse me. So there's red and yellow poppies and dandelions, which we've collected. And it looks like we're going to have to grind these down too, right? It doesn't work like survival Minecraft. It's more realistic, so to speak, right? That's one of the cool things about Sevtech. We actually have to grind that powder out of that flour. And I think we're going to need 2 of these, right? Yeah, we're going to need 2 of the mixed dye powders to make that fluid sack. So there we go. That's one of those done. And I guess we're going to have to dye down or grind down another one of these ink things too. All right, there we go. Black, yellow, and red have been ground down. And I think we're going to mix these together in our hands to make brown dye powder, which is kind of cool. There we go. We actually didn't need to make multiples of those, but that's fine. Let's just make a little bit of brown powder, extra brown dye powder. I'm assuming we need more than 1 fluid bladder at some point. And then next up, we just need to mix the brown dye powder with an ink sac and some plant twine. Hang on, are we turning an ink sac into a fluid bladder? Is that what is happening here? That is absolutely disgusting, Sevtech. My goodness. So basically, we're going to be storing water inside of the sack of a squid. Which is absolutely revolting if you ask me. Anyway, Krunkk smash! Our very first fluid bladder, there we go. Beautiful. And that should have unlocked a few things for us. Oh, look, there is the tree for sleeping, guys. Beds and totems. Or what is this? A teepee. That is amazing. Okay, we are getting closer and closer to one of the major advancements here in Sevtech, which is sleeping. Excellent stuff. Anyway, we've got this fluid bladder. I'm assuming we've got to fill it with fluid, right? So shall we go down to the bottom and get ourselves a nice little bit of water? There we go. Oh, that is absolutely disgusting. Look at it. It's filled up with liquid. It was the sack of a squid that was dyed brown, because I guess it looked really disgusting as an ink sack. But there we go. What are we even doing with this? I've completely forgotten. What is going on right now? We've got the ink sack. Oh yes, we're making bread, aren't we? Okay, good stuff. We're making some bread. So let's get the flour out of there and let's grind down the wheat a little bit more. Now what we need to do is add some salt with the dough. No, with the flour, with the ink sack, right? And it looks like we can only make 1 bit of bread at a time. Here is some salt that we can use. Oh no, that's cute, but wrong. There we go. So salt with flour. Looks like we can make a couple of these, right? And the fluid bladder. So that makes 1 dough. Oh, geez. Okay, so the fluid bladder empties every single time we use it. All right, that is kind of worrying. That means we need to find a better source of water, I suppose. Oh, look at that, man. We just broke our ocean also. That's kind of annoying. So we have to try this one more time. So, man, making bread is actually a pain in the butthole, isn't it, guys? Look at this, man. Jeez. Every single time we want to make a piece of bread, we have to fill up a fluid bladder. That is rather painful. But the good news is, of course, we can just come and cook this dough now into bread, and that should allow us to get going on our grain nutrition level, which is actually kind of awesome. I suppose I should just like grind out a whole bunch of bread here. There we go. Our first 2 bread is made. Very nice. Stupid fluid bladder. Freaking ink sack of disgustingness. Jeez. Well, This is still fun. Guys, this is really tilting me over here. It upsets me that I have ruined my beautiful ocean like this. And I think it's because in Sevtech, water sources don't recreate themselves. Water is actually finite in Sevtech, which is kind of interesting, but at the same time, a little bit annoying. Looks like we're going to have to make bread at the bottom of the ocean. I've just ground down all of that flour, and I'm going to have to do this as quickly as possible because, as you can see, we are slowly but surely drowning. And if this is how we're going to be making bread in Sevtech, that is rather annoying, if I'm honest with you. There must be a better way to do this in Sevtech. We're going to have to do a little bit of research on that. The good news is, though, that bread gives us 2.5% of grain nutrition. Potatoes gives us 2.5% of vegetable nutrition. So we should be able to get these bars up pretty quick. But yeah, guys, let me get all of this dough made and cooked into bread, and we can actually get on with this episode. I just spotted something really interesting, guys. We could use the fluid bladder to give us a little bit of air while we're making bread underwater. So actually, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Whenever we suck up water, we actually create an air block. So we don't have to go up for air while making bread. Still not the quickest way to create food in Minecraft, but you know what? At the beginning of Sevtech, this is actually not too bad, right? It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, hurts the fingers a little bit, but you know, it's all good, man. We're going to get through this pretty quick here. 13 dough balls created, guys, and there we go. Our major grinding task for today's episode is complete, hopefully. That was a pain in my butt, I'm not going to lie, but this bread is super tasty, so I'm not going to complain too much, and we can let that cook away. I want to show you a couple of other cool things here before we progress with some technical work on our fishing farm, guys. Take a look at this. Last episode, we planted these apple trees, and since then, there has been a little bit of movement in them. Look at that. There is an apple in there. I haven't actually tried to use the tree yet, but I'm assuming that we right-click. Oh, yes, there we go. We right-click on the leaf block, and that gives us the apple. So this is amazing. This is an infinite source of food in early game Sevtech. Oh my goodness. So if you can get yourself some apple seeds from a villager really early on, you can get yourself a really decent supply of food. I mean, I suppose they're kind of in the same category as the wild berry bushes when it comes to easy food to get, but these are 2% and wild berries are 1%. So apples give us 2% of nutrition for fruit, whereas berries give us 1. So apples are pretty good on the nutrition front. So now we're getting 2.5, 2.5 and 2% for nutrition levels, and that should get us up to maximum buffage pretty quickly, guys. But this is awesome. I'm loving these apple trees. This is so cool. I should have bought a few more from that farmer when we found him, and I suppose we should cut down some of our sugarcane too. I've also done a little bit more rearranging here with regards to storage and whatnot. I've got another chest out here that is looking after our bait and also looking after our sugarcane, although that's a little bit of a pain to get to. But there we go. We've got our bait for our fishing farms in there, and our sugarcane is getting stored in there too. And we've got a chest, of course, for each of our crops here. So this is great, man. Absolutely beautiful. Krunkk has entered next level of agriculture here, which is excellent. I'm very proud of him. Very proud of his very primitive brain to have come up with this very advanced thing. And, well, speaking of advanced, guys, I think it's about time that Krunkk takes his fishing to the next level. We set these fish farms up quite a few episodes ago, and as you can see, they have been pretty good at creating a bunch of different materials for us. You know what? I'm going to pick them up for now, and thankfully they don't disappear when we break them. These were kind of expensive to make, if you guys can remember when we first set these up, man. It is quite a process to make these suckers, so I'm glad we don't actually lose the blocks. But let's just collect all of the nonsense that has come out of those things, and there's probably quite a lot of things that I'd like to throw away over here. Let's have a look. I don't even know what we can do with all of these different fish. I'm just going to chuck them into the rubbish pit, and the bowls can get chucked into the rubbish pit too. The rest of the things are actually kind of useful, right? Maybe we'll hang on to those. But what I would very much like to do is find a way to automate these fishing farms now, and this is going to be really cool. I'm just rearranging my inventory over and over again. Good work, Ren. Trying to multitask on camera here, okay, guys? It's kind of tricky. Also, we should probably get these fish cooking, actually, while we're at it. Now, we're going to be doing this automation in a rather interesting way. It should be quite easy to achieve for us, I think. We're going to be using something called a wooden hopper. And, well, as far as I can tell, the wooden hopper works in a very similar way to a hopper in vanilla Minecraft. And it works in the way that it sucks items out of a chest. This thing, the strainer base, I'm assuming behaves like a chest. I've actually created some of the things that we need up here for us. So here's the wooden hopper, here's a chest, and here are our strainers, of course. Now, if my theory is correct, and I think it is correct, if we have a chest like this, let's just do a little bit of experimenting over here. If we have a chest like this, right, with a wooden hopper going into it, hang on, I think we have to shift right click for that wooden hopper to connect, right, like this. There we go. We can see the wooden hoppers going into the chest, and we stick our strainer base above that hopper. All the stuff that the strainer catches will get fed into this chest. It's a very simple automation, of course, of this entire system, but the tricky thing is we have to do it in the water, obviously. This has got to be done underwater because that strainer base needs to be in the water, right, in order to work. But if it works, it's going to be a nice way for us to automatically suck up the items that is coming from our fish farm. So I think next step for me is just to try and like figure this out. I would like a few planks if we can get some. Oh, you know what? We'll use logs for now. That's fine. So let's get ourselves out into the beautiful Krunkk Peninsula Lake and try and figure this bad boy out. This is probably a pretty decent place to set up like an array of these fishing farms. I'd like to keep it fairly close to the shore, although we could have like a little, like a dock out here or something, because I guess what we're going to have to do, if the strainer needs to be 1 block underwater, we need to make sure that these hoppers are down here, right? It needs to be on this level, is that right? So if we have our chest over here, like so, right, and we stick the hopper connecting into it, and our strainer on top of the hopper, yeah, it needs to be at that level. But unfortunately, that chest is facing in a rather janky way right now. I wonder, hang on, can we just like disconnect this chest and replace it so that it's facing a nice way for us to access it? We should be able to, right? Yeah, the hopper still has its chute going that way. Okay, so there we go. So that is kind of the farm, right? Is that it? That was super easy. I suppose what we need to do though is add like 4 of them next to each other. Want to try and like make maximum use of this, and let's make our chest face this direction. A little bit of lag over there, and the hoppers can go into the back of those. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, right. I think that these chests only have one side that hoppers can go into, and I think we have to place the chest sideways, and then the hopper will go into the chest like this. Oh my goodness, it literally only goes into one side of the chest. That's very interesting to know. These chests are really, really unuseful in Sevtech. Let's have a look. Okay, so they'll only face in that direction, but then we can kind of juke the system over here, right? Because then we can replace the chest facing us like this. I suppose we want to make some sort of a staircase that goes down here that'll allow us to access these chests. Maybe make some sort of a dock here, like a very primitive looking dock or something. You know what's funny, Cyber Dogs? By modern Minecraft standards, this is a ridiculously simple little farm that we are creating, but I think we got to give Krunkk a little bit of credit over here. All of that fish that he's been eating, it's definitely improving his brain. Krunkk, make fish farm! This is actually turning out pretty cool. I think it looks kind of decent also. I've just been working a little bit on trying to figure out exactly how we're going to access all the bits here, and I've also realized that these net areas here are actually solid blocks, or it looks like they're solid blocks. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work when we try to fill this up, but maybe what we should try to do is get rid of the water inside of the space over here, right? So let's use some of the sand to fill this up, and we might not have enough sand for this, which is kind of annoying. But already I see something really strange happening over here, right? It looks like there might be some issues with the water sources. Maybe we should get ourselves a little bit of dirt here from the Krunkk cave to try and fill in the rest of that water. Oh man, these flowers in the Krunkk cave though, really making this place pop like nobody's business. Loving the little flowers we added today. They are beautiful. But yeah, what I'd like to do, I think, is maybe have like a nice little staircase that goes down here to the area where we will be collecting the fish. And if we just get rid of the water sources like this, right, I guess the farm will come to back here. Let's just try and clear all of these water sources. My theory is that this is actually considered a water source. So if we, yeah, look at that. The water actually flows through that block. So if we stick a slab on top of this, is that going to stop it? No, that doesn't stop it at all, which is kind of weird. If we stick a solid block on top, does that stop it? No. So it's actually seeing that one below there as a full-on water source right now, which is interesting. So I guess what we're going to have to do is maybe place a slab like that, right? It kind of looks really ugly, though. I don't really want to do that. Maybe what we'll do is just have we'll just have some solid blocks going in front of the nets here, right? We'll just have some solid logs like that. That's totally fine. I think maybe we can just push back the whole thing just a little bit. I'll work on that off camera, though, I think. Okay, so if we get rid of these blocks over here, we should now have a nice dry area for us to come down to collect ourselves our beautiful fish. I guess what we need to figure out, though, is if this is actually going to work. I haven't tested this at all, but there we go. That's going to be our access to our goods if we actually get them from this farm. I suppose the only way to actually figure out if this is working is by doing a little bit of a test. So let's pick up our worms over here. I think I've got about 2.5 stacks. Not that many, actually. We've got about, yeah, two stacks and 11 worms to test out with. And let's prime these traps over here with the worm action. And, oh, there we go. Okay, there's just a little bit of lag there. And let's just get some worms up in this business. That was not the right amount of worms, it looks like it, but that's fine. 45 in each of them and then 10 in one. So I'll probably have to rearrange those worms. But that's fine for now. Let's see if these things are actually firing. Let's open up all of the chests here. And, well, if this doesn't work, then that's going to be kind of embarrassing, considering that's what this entire episode has been about. Also, thanks for the rain, Sevtech. Perfect timing, as usual. So the nets are catching goods, guys, but they are not delivering them to the chests. I've done a little bit of reading on this, and I think I understand what is going on here. We are using the wrong hopper to do this. We are using the MK1 hoppers, which is like the first version of the wooden hopper, and I don't think that those hoppers are strong enough to actually push the items into the chest. I think we're going to have to turn those hoppers into MK2s. Where did my axe go? It literally just disappeared. Did you guys see that? That was really weird. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we're going to have to upgrade those hoppers to MK2 hoppers, which look a little something like this. We need some resin and some cobweb. We actually did this a couple of episodes ago. Krunkk smash 4 Whopper MK2's P-Face, which is the actual name of these hoppers. Very, very strange. It's still raining, by the way, guys, even though it's taken me about 20 minutes or so to do this last little bit here. But looks like we might be onto something over here. Let me try just to get these last few hoppers installed. It's going to be a little bit more difficult than I anticipated, but let's quickly check whether or not that has worked. Is this chest filling up? Oh, look at that. We are actually receiving items now. Wow, that one is filled up completely. And I wonder, can we just pick the chest up and replace it if we hold down shift and then replace it? Oh, that might actually work, right? That's pretty sweet. Can we just place it there? Very good. Oh, look at that. That's actually working. So it was the wooden hopper that was the problem. We have to use this more advanced hopper to get this done. But now I just have to try get these last few chests installed, which is going to be a huge pain in my butt. But if we get this done, guys, we've got a beautiful little fish farm going here. It's going to be magnificent. And there we go. Final Whopper installed with its chest. And all we need to do now is make sure these chests are facing the right way. And there we go, guys. We've got the fish farm working. Amazing. Look at this. Collecting all of the different things. Yeah, this one's got a whole bunch of stuff in it that it probably shouldn't have. And I guess all that we need to do now is make this farm look a little bit prettier than it is right now. It's looking really janktastic at the moment. Absolutely awful. And I think we can just get a little bit of planks in here, right? We don't need to make it look too good, but at least give it a little bit of charm so that it doesn't look completely horrific. But there we go, guys. We actually got this working. Maybe what we'll do is we'll keep the platform or the stairs like going down into it made out of like a mix of sand and a mix of logs or something, almost as if it's been here for a while and the sea sand is sort of scattered onto the staircase or something like that, right? But that's probably something I'll do off camera, guys, because that is quite a lot of work. But man, I am super pleased with this. Well, fish farm is working 100% right now. Absolutely magnificent. And all we're going to need to do is keep the worms inside of these traps over here, and that is going to give us basically a permanent supply of protein in the salmons and in the fish over here, although it doesn't look like they stack, which is kind of annoying. We're gonna have to come back and clean these chests out on the regular, I think, to keep this thing up and running. But yeah, guys, that is gonna do it for today, man. Krunkk farm, Krunkk catch fish. fresh Krunkk genius Sevtech player, cave ladies, come to Krunkk Cave. I won't hit head, I promise. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.